You feel the tide shifting, not just in the fight, but the overarching tide, where these young guns, these young bulls are going after this old hag, and they're trying to take her crown. They're trying to drag her down back to earth, because she can say, we've been ruling for decades, even when you're on your mother's titty. But Big Mom, she's like, we've been ruling for a while, but that's part of the issue. We found out about it when Lawless fighting Doflamingo, saying you guys got really comfortable, right?
It's a new era. It's a new era, and I'm here for it, bro.
Greetings, brothers and sisters, in the name of Yahushua and Abba Yahuwah. How y'all doing, man? What's going on, man? It's been a minute. Look, last time we talked was like 3 months ago. I said I was gonna come back with a super banger. This is not that. Don't worry, that's still coming. But this is something else, which is still a banger. But anyway, after that last video I made, the last one I uploaded, man, I started getting beat up. I got beat up for about 3 months, man. I just this past weekend just came up out of that, so it's all good. I feel like 50 times stronger. So it's, it says it in the word, like ain't no discipline good. Like at that moment, it doesn't feel good at that moment, but it's good for you because it builds character and whatnot, and it works patience and such things. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, what what prompted me to make this video was one of my brothers hit me up in the comments and we got to chopping it up, man, and it kind of put it back into perspective. It's like, bro, I mean, okay, damn, it's been a minute, man. It's been a minute, man. It was good. It feels good to be back. Anyway, tripping. We've talked ad nauseum, man, at length about how we got here, the DNA, everything, man. Y'all know what's up already, bro.
He's a genetic time bomb just waiting to trigger.
DNA, the blueprint for life, passed from parent to child. An atavism is when a trait recurs in a descendant after skipping generations. This can even result in a reversion to the primitive characteristics of a remote ancestor. The atavism of the Mazoku, or half-breed, is an extreme example. The Mazoku can deliberately transmit its DNA recessively until it reaches an heir strong enough to succeed it, creating a demon sleeper.
So, to talk to another one of your own, and y'all discussing the same thing, like, oh my gosh, we got powers, you know what I'm saying? Recontextualize the stuff. It grounds everything for you. It's like, bro, everything is, it's not no game. Like we really like, yeah. So during the conversation, we got to talking about the dreams and the type visions we done had. About how he done been in chariots and off planets and stuff. And I done caught so many bodies. Oh my gosh. I don't want to fight. I be having a fight. And shattering the Empire State Building, running through tanks and such. So like, yeah, before we even continue, man, if you got any weird, well, quote unquote weird, you got any visions or dreams or anything you done had or be having or had a while ago and it's been on your mind, drop them down below, man. Let's discuss, cause ain't nothing fake about none of that. And that's a great segue into what I'm about to share with y'all, which is a dream that I had. Now, I believe it was in that video I was talking about towards the beginning of this one, the last video I uploaded like 3 months ago, where I said there was a dream that I had that I was going to share at some point, and that point is now, because this dream, oh my gosh, it says everything. Well, y'all be able to pick it up when I get to telling it, but like I say that to say, man, it's just. It was eye-opening. It brought it back into perspective, like I said, like hearing somebody else talk about the exact same things. And the little things that all come together that you just can't really deny. People like to focus on the big things, but the little things sometimes give even more away. You know what I'm saying? Because it's the little, you can think about, it's easy to actively work towards a big thing or like to hide a big thing, but it's hard to always remember to hide a little thing. You know what I'm saying? And as always, I'm open to your interpretations and or opinions about this here dream. Like, I know the last one I pretty much explicitly asked, like, hey, does somebody know what this mean? This one, there are a few things I don't really understand, but the gist is kind of staring you right in the face. As for some, but I still, like I said, I'm still open to hearing, because there's still some aspects I don't really get. Anyway, let's get on with it. So, we in my crib, right? I started off, first of all, I don't know where my mama was at. My grandma was in my mom's bed in her room, and we was both crying, and my grandma said something about how she was moving on. Like, that's literally what she said, and like I said, that's one of the parts I don't get. So anyway, so I got this little orange chicken recipe that my mom be buying me from Walmart that I just love to death, and I was making some of that. Well, I had already had some of that made, and I was finna make some noodles to go with it with a bunch of people, not even like regular people, like army type, private military SWAT niggas busting in my house and started shooting, right? And if you if you remember the last dream I was talking about, then this should already sound familiar. I remember during the dream that I had never got a chance to make my noodles, and I was mad about it. I was like, damn, bro, what are my noodles, man? like I got people busting in my house shooting at me, but I'm worried about the fact I didn't get to make my noodles. You know what I'm saying? So I took, with one hand, with my left hand, I took a bite. I took a couple bites of my orange chicken, man, with no noodles, and I had a pistol in my other hand. And I started shooting them, getting them up out of here. They were surrounding my house and coming from everywhere. Like, I mean, surrounded, beset by enemies on all sides. Like, the woods behind my house, from out the door, like, they was just, it's like these niggas was just spawning in out of nowhere. Like, I was on a map on Call of Duty or something. You know, I was using just this little pistol at first. I ain't really need much else. Popping them. But as it started escalating, I began picking the weapons up that they dropped and using those. Like, you know, so going up from a pistol to like a little SMG or something like that. And like I said before, these weren't no regular, like, you know, everyday police cops. These are some real Blackwater type, Metal Gear, PMC, big boy, you know, big dudes with some big ass guns. You know, you know the type. And I had on just the normal clothes I was wearing, going crazy, you know. Not even like the fact that people were shooting at me didn't even register. Like, there's a monsoon, a damn typhoon, a torrent of lead, just straight bullets coming at me from all these directions. And I just didn't care, bro. I remember eventually, outside my house in the back, these woods in the back of my house, these niggas set up a minigun, like a mounted turret, and just started blasting at me, bro. Not like it really mattered. So, yada yada yada. I was running to and fro, just taking them out, just getting them up out of here. And I remember I was picking up shotguns and stuff, man. I remember looking back towards my room and seeing some RoboCop type mech in the hallway. Like, I'm gonna find the clip. It literally looked exactly like that. I vividly remember exclaiming, "Is that a fucking mech?" So I don't even remember what I did to it, if I did anything to it, but I remember the climax very vividly. The climax came when this big, white, jarhead, skinhead, typical, I point, you shoot ass soldier came in through my back door with a riot shield, but it was a cyborg. I had a knowing in the vision, the dream, before I even did anything with it, that it was a cyborg, you know what I'm saying? Like Jack from Tekken, or more like the Terminator, because from the outside he looked normal, but his mannerisms and what happens when you try to shoot him gives it away. Because I shot at him with a few times in the head with my pistol, but it was like throwing pebbles at ballistics gel. Like the way, like if you take a water balloon and flick it, the way the little ripples go through. That's what his skin, if you want to call it that, looked like when I shot this man with that pea shooter. But anyway, he swung at me with this big ballistic shield. 2 hands just swung at me like a video game boss or something. But the spirit was upon me, so I evaded him. And I picked up an assault rifle that I took note of on the floor. So he turned around and swung at me again. I knee slid. Yes sir, knee slid underneath the swing while unloading the clip into his chin from underneath. I remember very vividly, like I was playing Apex or something. He fell to his knees and malfunctioned. I unloaded the rest into him, and then I stock struck him for good measure. Which means I hit him with the back of the gun, right? After that, after that, I ran outside through the back, and I remember seeing people, enemies, I'm assuming, running towards my cul-de-sac because one of the people I saw running, and I kid you not, was Barack Obama with an assault rifle. Like, he was dressed up in a little presidential suit, like the way you would see him if he was giving a speech or something or in a picture or something. And he was running down my street with an assault rifle amongst other people. But that's the one I remember for obvious reasons, right? So after I see that, I run out towards the front of my house, and all of them are gone. The people I see Obama, I don't know where the hell they went, but I run out to the front of my crib and I see a bunch of people outside, right? A bunch of people I don't really know, but I see somebody I do know, and he looked at me with like a puzzled expression and like had his arms up, like as to say like, where have you been, nigga? Like, what took you so long, right? And also something else that pops out to me about this dream. After I seen him, I saw like this old Romany looking type woman in like a blue, like a pretty blue dress, right? Muttering something, and she looked real out of place, almost like she was intruding, like she wasn't supposed to be there. You know what I'm saying? But I just ignored her and walked past. And I started rallying the troops, son. I remember I was hoisting my rifle up in the air and shouting, yelling, like, repeat after me. And we started praising our Father, and everything was just great. We was out there celebrating victory for real, you know. Everybody was following my lead. If anything else happened after that, I don't really remember, right? So, all that, I'm sure you get the idea, you know what I'm saying? And to top it all off, I remember this that very same morning, right after I wrote down the dream through a series of events. I ended up watching this movie, right, on YouTube. Now, if you know anything about Appleseed, then yeah, you gonna see. But I'm gonna play a clip of how that movie began. So I want you to put yourself into my shoes. You just had this dream. You already know what's been going on with you for years at this point. And the first thing you see after that is Shawty doing all this. Yeah, so I mean, you remember what I just told you about this dream? Niggas got through killing cyborgs and stuff, and I literally just told you. So imagine I wake up from that dream, and the first visual stimulus for real, the first packet of media I consume for the day is Shotty doing all that. A little bit about her. Her name in the show is Doonin, and I looked it up because I was like, Doonin, what kind of name is that? It turns out it's some kind of Romanized Gaelic form of the word Adam, which is crazy. And this movie actually starts off with a Bible verse. I'm gonna try to find it and just put it on the screen because I don't think that version at the top does. That's what I'm talking about. The intro in it, for some reason, is Japanese. The one I watched had the English intro where you could see it was an actual Bible verse, but I would try to find it. And if you actually watch the movie, you'll see it's the it's the same type of thing. It always is. Let's say all that to say, man, it's time for a new epoch, man, a new age. The old ways of this world, the old rulers of this world, just they ran their course. Like, I'm not gonna get too much into, this particular topic in this video, but like the way this world works, bro, it's things happen, it resets, and things happen again. Like all the old world is just buried upon layers, unfathomable layers of dirt and mud. We already know about the floods, man. It's easy to see how water level could rise. Everybody's living at the top of mountains right now, type of stuff. People live on these people live on these land masses. That's all they know. They're looking out at the ocean. Whole time they have no idea that what is their shore now at one point in time used to be the peak of a mountain. You know what I'm saying? It's like we're on a layer cake, and it's happened. That's why they messed up history so much, like by doing crazy things like making up entirely phony time periods, setting events in the past thousands of years out of place, just completely shifting around history, making you think that they've always been there and they're always going to be there, because the people in power right now, they don't want you to understand, they don't want you to realize that it's just another age, it's just another cycle, and just like every other age and cycle before it, it has to come to a close. Just like how these guys came in and took over and subjugated the old people who was in power before them, which goes back to, like, you can look up Great Tartary and all that, the way the churches took all that free energy and how we downgraded from infinite electricity to gas and oil and electricity, all to make money, because it was a different age. Different age. One thing I've really come to understand is that all the factions and players and organizations of this world we live in are not homogenous, my nigga. Like, the human soul is an unpredictable thing. Not even just that, agency, free will in general was an unpredictable thing. So these things are not homogenous. I mean, the children of Israel, families within the children of Israel, clans within the children of Israel, just fought amongst themselves and didn't see eye to eye all the time. So it makes sense that, like, these secret societies, people have their own agendas and such. These Illuminati bloodlines and all that, they're infighting all types of things. You know what I'm saying? Like, just because you're not as completely detestable as party A, B, or C over here does not mean that you're allowed my father's will. You can be quote unquote good and not be righteous at all. Or you can be righteous to the core, but you come off, people look at you, they're like, oh, what's wrong with that nigga? Or why he act so, you know what I'm saying? Like how it says in the book, my father, he searches the intentions of the heart. You know what I'm saying? You can virtue signal, grandstand, donate to charities, and scream philanthropy until the air is gone from your lungs and there's nothing left. But if you go home bowing down to statues and sacrificing children at the end of the day, because the way they think, bro, all right, hold up. I'm going to tell you something about the people who run this world and their masters, their gods or whatever, all right? Their sense of morality is quantitative, you know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of them just don't give a fuck. I'm gonna be honest, but a lot of the other ones, like for example, the guys they serve, the angels, the whatever, the fallen angels, the whatever, the Nephilim, the whatever. The way that a lot of them look at morality, they look at it on a grand scheme. Like, they don't look at, okay, oh, I did this individual wrong and I did this individual wrong. They look overall as, okay, all my actions in total, or everything that's going on right now in general, in total, is more positive. So it doesn't matter if I steal this one dude's children, or smash this one nigga wife in front of him, or kill this one guy because he stepped on my toes. I've given life per se, or food, to like thousands more. So it outweighs it basically. They like to think that their good deeds can outweigh their bad deeds. So they can just keep sinning hard, because as long as they keep doing good things on top of that, it balances out, right? And not every one of them is like that, because like I said, a lot of them just know and just don't care. But a lot of them also truly believe that. And to be honest, I really don't know which is worse. Man, I don't know which is worse. But what I'm really trying to impress upon you watching this video right now is like something I'm coming to realize. Like, we really do have a much more tangible role in this thing than one might expect. Like, obviously, yeah, our Father's in control and he's going to set everything in motion. But you have to walk to be led. You have to take steps to be led. You know what I'm saying? So, like, we really are going to be the ones, like, in these positions, like, making moves in our Father's name. The way you see how they the devil and his angels got all their little puppets set up, that's gonna be us in the true world order when that comes. You know what I'm saying? Like, ain't no room for sugarcoating or stutter stepping around it. Like, we really finna be out there, up there. Like, we are vessels for our Father's will. We are his emissaries. So that's how this thing's gonna go. Like I was talking about the other day, like, a lot, like, it's hard to even comprehend the scale of this story that we're in, for real. Like, for example, we all know that once everybody gets right, Yahusha comes back with the sword, sets up the millennial reign. That's 1,000 years of peace. But after that, my guy, that old serpent's gonna get let loose again, all four corners of the world, amassing Gog and Magog to come against us again. You know what I'm saying? So not only is he finna begin active to get everything back right and get back on top, even after that, after we is back on top, then we still gotta go toe to toe yet again for all the marbles. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I don't even know. It's like, bro, take yourself seriously. Like, I had to, cause it's easy to, like, oh, X-Men, yeah, yada yada yada, I got powers, yada. It's cool, but it is cool. It is very cool. But it's so serious though. Like, this is just very, very, very serious. Like, when you see these people in these movies coming together, forming militias, like, okay, we finna overthrow this government. Okay, that's what we on a celestial scale. Like, this like the whole book of the Bible is about a planetary takeover, son. And who did they take it from? You know what I'm saying? Because all them fallen ones, the originals, the devil and this third, they was never supposed to be on Earth. You know, it's their fault. They the ones that lost the war and their place is found no more in heaven. So when they started living on Earth, and then us, I done armored the people who really supposed to be here, whose planet it is, whose gift it is. Now they feel some type of way. Boy, don't nobody care about that. Don't nobody care about any of that. Don't nobody care about those type of feelings. I remember he said in the old video, oh yeah, them Zionists and all that. Oh yeah, they'll tell you who you are. You're the true Israel. They just don't want to give you back what's yours. Well, you know what? That's perfectly fine. I don't need your permission to take anything from anyone. Nobody does. And if you made it this far, then good, because I want to tell you to stay up and stay strong. Sister Naima made a video the other day talking about how, like, are you experiencing any of these things? Just basically going through it, trials and tribulations. And I agreed. A lot of other people agreed. And she brought it forth, like we really in the tribulation, for real, like right in the middle. Something like we in it, cause they going crazy. But we already know, man. It's always darkest before the what? It's always darkest before the what? Before the you know what I'm about to say. So anyway, y'all stay up. Stay prayed up. All praise to the kingdom in the name of Yahushua Abba Yahuwah. Man, oh man. I'm excited. Just stay down. No matter how long it takes. Stick with it. Stick with our Father. Trust in our Father for the long run.
Now give me your hand, Redeemer Asha. Receive the mantras power, and with it, create a new world order.
He's the one. He's the reason for it all.